Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Riding the Bull. I am your host, as always, Rich Murphy, along with my partner in crime, Mr. John Marcus.
Hey, how
Hi,
you doing, buddy?
good. Good. How are you?
You look so good. You do. Now
No,
I see it. Now I see it.
no, I don't.
You look shorn, you
I'm
look
just
bright.
looking right here at that guy. He looks amazing.
You can see there's a sadness behind those eyes.
No,
Yeah,
not
there
why?
is. No, I don't know. I mean, it's just
Oh,
I'll lay
I
down on the
just thought that
couch.
you were shooting in front of your vault. That's why.
No,
Anyway,
no,
hello.
no. That goes to the mines. Um, so we got a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, so we can't really kind of mess around. So let's get into it. If you want to start, I would really appreciate it because this is once again, just so everybody knows, we're shooting
Mhm.
on a Sunday
It is a
because
Sunday.
the week was so crazy.
It was crazy.
We didn't have time. We had people in the office, so it was one of those types of weeks. Just so you're aware. Um, but let's pick up on Wednesday.
Okay.
There was a truth that went out by
hmm
President Trump
hmm Is that
pertaining
what they're
to,
calling those things?
well, I think that's what it is, but I
I like
still
that.
want to say tweets, but
No, 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 no. But
whatever.
I like the way you. I don't know, like how, like they have
Yeah,
to differentiate it. The
yeah, they
truth
do.
went out.
And that's what it was. So he sent
Was
out a
it a
tweet
truth
pertaining
bingo or
to,
was it a truth?
it was a truth.
Oh, it was a true
Thank you.
truth. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
Well,
right.
because according to him,
Great.
the platform is superior. So
Right.
anyway, yeah, truth that he sent out pertaining to China buying beans.
Yes.
This was you would know better than I think somewhere around 10 or 10:30
Yes.
on.
It was right then, and then the market took off, and everybody started asking, "What's going on?"
Yeah. Yeah, and that literally is what happened, and it was kind of crazy
Yeah.
how yeah, well done. How things happened, and then literally the market took off. So I mean, you had some movement, and then when we were just talking about this before we came on, but like whether it's like the algorithms or like any AI sensors
That was the
that
word I
pick
was
up
looking
any type of news,
for. Mhm.
then everything just kind of like markets just react,
Yeah.
and everybody's scrambling to try to find out what's going on,
Just shoot
you
first,
know.
ask questions later.
Wow.
No, no, but that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
so if you want, can you kind of explain that a little bit? Only
if you want me
because
to, I'll do it.
I would love it.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. We got it.
Thanks.
Well, the thing of it is, you're 100% right. So it's algos, and then everybody's scrambling, like, what's going on? Why did this happen? And everything starts coming. So then we start reading about it, and we start seeing it. And
Mhm.
the thing that caught my, first of all, this is one of those like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, three, four, five, six, 800, 7,000 times later, shame
Yeah.
on me. So my gut reaction is like, yeah, we've seen this so many times before. If Trump says China's buying more cargoes or they're upping the
Right.
ante or whatever the case may be, he's saying it. China's not saying it. He's saying
Right.
what, so there's that. There's that part of it. The other
Mhm.
part is that tongue in cheek, like, ugh, all right, well, hopefully, this all happens and everyone's excited for 2 minutes, but you got to sell this thing. So the market runs on Wednesday
Mhm.
and puts in a high and comes back down.
Mhm.
Next day, I expected it to be lower. It came out high. It stayed strong, made a double top. And I'm like, this is for sure, is it? There's no way. Like, this is a total, buy the rumor, sell the fact in its, absoluteness. And then,
Mhm.
Friday or Thursday, Friday night, this thing went
Yes.
higher. And
Yeah.
I was like, if you're short, just get out. This is terrible. This is not. Something's going on.
Yeah, you got to reset.
All of a
Yeah.
sudden, the minute that happens, the market sells off like 25 cents. This is Friday from like, I
Yes.
don't know what the highs are. Let me just double check. It was like, where were beans in the March? We traded all the way up to 1137 three quarters. And
Mhm.
2 minutes later, you're down like, I don't know, like to 1115, 1120. So
Yeah.
basically, right now, this thing's had a nice run. The move was more sustained than I thought. Um, where do we go from here? I bet you probably trade on either side of $11 for a while. for the next
Mhm.
couple of weeks going into planting. Unless there is some
Yeah.
truth to this and you see, some like exports right away. If you see good export numbers, I mean, yeah, you could see that. I mean, that's real. That's what we want. But why would
Don't you
China
think
buy
there's too
beans?
many coulds?
Yeah,
Like,
a
this
lot of
could
coulds. Here's
happen.
the other thing. We're best friends. You say to
Yeah.
me, I want you to come buy my pretzels. They're $5 a bag, but I could go
Wow.
down the street and get two pretzels for $2 a bag.
Yeah. No,
I
I
love
get
you,
it.
buddy, but I'm not going to buy $5 pretzels. I'm buying $2 pretzels. So
Yeah.
why would China come in and buy U.S. beans? And they're not best friends when they could buy
Not
South
at all.
America
Right.
beans for so much less. And that's what
Right.
just doesn't sit right with me.
Oh, I agree.
So
Totally
there's
agree with you.
there's that whole thing. That's my I don't think that's what you need to count on for prices to go higher. That's not going to be the
Okay,
case.
I would think that that is a very true statement, but I would have expected that, like what you were saying, like if this thing would have opened, on Friday a lot lower, or a lot lower, but it didn't. It actually showed some strength, and then threw everybody for a loop
Yeah,
with that sell off. I mean,
yeah.
so yeah, I agree, totally
I
agree
was
with
I was
that.
such an idiot because anybody, if you ask me
You're not into beans.
anybody, if you're short that stuff and you start getting short into that rally, and I don't know
Yeah,
if it was just because outside markets were just going crazy, but I was like, you just get out and you'll reassess this thing, and that was I could not have been more wrong. But listen, here we are. Corn had a nice week, right?
yes.
Steady as she goes. Maybe beans dragged it up a little bit. That's just a steady, steady, steady climb higher. You're coming into some resistance there. Technically, you saw
Mhm.
it at in the March. You saw it like at that 432, 435. Like that's
Mhm.
been resistance. It stayed resistance. So I
Yes,
guess I guess we'll see how things go from there. I'd imagine you come off a little bit. Imagine you kind of bounce around a little bit. Good
I would
trading
think so.
market, you know.
Yeah, very good, very good.
So
If I
there's
could
that.
segue
Yeah.
into another market, but
Mhm.
basically along the same lines as beans,
Okay.
cattle had an interesting week.
Yes.
Um, if you look at it from Thursday on, um,
Yes. Yes.
you know what I mean? If you kind of
Yes.
back up a little bit, you had the sell off going into Friday based on end of month with
Yeah.
what's it called? January, and then
Yep.
coming into this month here in February,
Mhm. First
things
notice
kind of
tomorrow.
took off. And then next thing you know, Thursday,
Mhm.
um, basically just call it a rumor, started
Well,
circulating,
no,
or that announcement.
they were
Go ahead.
saying that there was a plant, a JBS plant in Greeley, Colorado. I had a friend who used to live there. I always like seeing Greeley. But they
Love them.
voted for like to have a strike at the plant. And
Okay.
so that comes out. That new I don't know how much, or it might have been the night before. I don't know when the actual news came out. Market opens basically limit down. And I don't know
Yeah.
basically or actually, but it was down so fast and so far and so like just like what just
Right.
happened.
Right.
But the next thing you know, the market bounced like 500 points,
Yeah.
which that's not
It's not
something.
normal.
These are the things that drive me crazy because that's not trading. Like when like you what'd you say earlier with the algos? Get that story, cattle
Mhm.
strike, shutdown strike, this that whatever.
Yeah.
It just sell all this stuff gets sold.
Correct.
It works into good traders' hands, I think, and guys that are actually like
Really
like
plugged
on
in.
the
Yeah.
pulse of this thing, and you
Right.
saw what happened. It's almost like
Yes.
one of those things. Like, yeah, of course, this is a bot.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But it is a scary thing, and you don't know if like
Correct.
where that how much money is uh pumped in to those algos, and what can it do to a market?
Sure.
And that's
Oh,
maybe where there's a
absolutely.
little fear. But that was again like
Yeah.
I don't think it was as bad. Like maybe that's a 200-point sell off,
Yeah.
maybe, but not certainly not limit down. Anyways, we saw what happened there.
Yeah.
It's just like such a weird world. It's like you're walking on, through a field of landmines every day in every one of these markets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In any case, and then you saw how the market traded the next couple of days. So, listen, it's just you're in a bull market until we hear otherwise. And we're gonna have tales of a week and things like this are gonna happen. But
Right.
fundamentally, what does that plant produce? You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to ask. I mean,
I don't
like,
know.
yeah. I mean,
I don't
this
want
was,
we should research that just for our own knowledge, but
yeah.
like what was it? Are they 5,000 a day? I mean that would be, it's a decent amount, but it's not like,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what my question was
pulling the
going to
chain.
be is like, how much do they produce a day? How much are they actually, um, do they contribute to anything? I mean, because it's not like some of these bigger plants where it's like, you know, 20 or 30,000, you know what I mean? So
This
I
is
don't,
yes.
and this wasn't like this just came, from your mid-morning break.
Yeah, like, oh my God,
You know
we
what I
just
mean? So
what?
like
Yeah.
something had to be building where you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So anyway, you
It's
know,
always like that. Somebody
yeah,
always knows, and that's a pretty good move.
yeah,
But you took advantage of it, great. So,
totally agree.
anyway, we'll see what we'll see. It will be interesting to see how these things react tomorrow. It's first notice day. Feb,
Yeah,
April's up front. Um, let's see what they do. Now it's spring candle. That was fast.
correct. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that really is true. Yeah, I know. The beginning of this year is really kind of flu with everything that's going on. So
Well, it's
once
kind
again,
of like, you know what? It's like what Bags was saying before, when we were talking before we got started here. He
yeah,
was talking about like volatility. It's almost like
yes,
it's a hard thing to get used to, and you got to get used to it. But like, I
yeah,
mean, Thursday, Friday, crypto, stocks, metals, this and that.
hmm.
What did I mean, you saw all that stuff.
No, that's kind of actually you kind of read my mind is what I wanted to get into, only because there's so much volatility and you can kind of look at it from a commodity base, or even it kind of overlaps into sectors, because I mean you could talk about it from a crypto standpoint, you could talk about it from a financial standpoint, so and obviously the mover in metals as well. So you can look at a bunch of different things, but volatility is really apparent, and like you just
Yeah.
said, you really got to get used to it. Once again, you have to, it's kind of like being in baseball, you've got to make adjustments, and if
Yeah.
you're
Right.
not, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yes. We're going to halftime. Change your game plan.
Yeah,
This is what's happening.
absolutely.
This like we have to
Yeah.
shorten our stroke up and batting. You don't put on 20, you put on one. Like I mean, you just
Mhm.
have to be so careful.
Yes, agree. Do you
You
want to
know,
kind of get step into cryptos for a little
yeah,
bit?
I actually do because I've been thinking about that a lot the last couple of days. But I sort of want to give like a small timeline of what happened, and it was like if you looked at crypto, you could look at like that's been getting crushed and been getting knocked down every day, knocked down every
Yes,
day, and knocked down every day. I just feel like this is a market like we talk about it a lot and we make fun of it a lot and then we are in awe of it sometimes and it's in
yeah,
its infancy. It really still is. And
still is.
you go through all these. I've said this a million times to you or whoever is unlucky enough to have to listen, but like the CME would never have backed a product that they didn't have full faith in. Do you know what I'm saying?
True, very
So
true.
you've got this Ethereum, you've got these Bitcoin, they're here to stay. They're going to trade. And now we've got to figure out what price makes sense. Is this too high? Is this too low? Is this thing going to trade technically? Is it trading fundamentally? Are there, are there certain levels that that we have to respect or be fearful of? And the truth of the
Mhm.
matter is, you can't go back 20 years and see that. You're living through a new history. You're almost like a pioneer, if you will. So, what do we know right now? We know that $130,000 Bitcoin was a peak or whatever it was. We know that
Mhm.
4,900 in this Ethereum was a peak. And that was a spot that people felt like, hey, this is too much. So
Yeah.
now you pull back and you pull back and you can do Fibonacci and you can look at this and you can pull out that. But it basically sold off, and I'm talking Ethereum now, to 1,700 or 1,750. And you
Yeah.
saw it blow out down. And what
Yes.
happened? You rallied and you closed over 20. And so now, like, is that you have to think from a trading mentality, either somebody absolutely got blown out on Thursday night and you
For
saw that
sure.
it's Friday morning trading, but it is like right after the bell. And in a bear market, what is the strongest move you're ever going to get is the bull move back. And that's what you're starting to see. You saw it in stocks, you saw it
Mhm.
in metals, you saw it really in that crypto. And
Yes.
truth of the matter is, like, if you are going to achieve a low in a market like that, you may have seen it on Thursday evening.
Mhm.
That's what it looked like to me. The
Mhm.
stock move was incredible. That one you have seen 10,000 times. It's always on
True.
a Friday. It's always after
Yes.
getting the crap kicked out of it on a Thursday. Um,
Right.
and the snapback was impressive. There's a lot of money. So now, you know, going forward this week, you have to think there's continued strength, at least for a day or two, because of the way
Mhm.
that we closed. You took out
Yes.
the lows of the day before.
Mhm.
It's an outside day. So Thursday night, Friday's bar, you took out the lows of Thursday, turned around, stopped everybody out,
Mhm.
turned around, and took out the highs, and you closed up
Yes.
there. That's got you.
Yeah.
You would imagine maybe at some point in this week. I think you start off strong and kind of see, but um, I know I'm talking my brains out. I just like the crypto
No.
thing is just insane. And I think if you really, 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 really want to figure that market out, you're going to be the one to figure it out.
Yes.
Because
No, I
nothing
think
can be
it's
lied just
it
politically.
and I don't feel that you're rambling. I think that this is something that kinda needs to be talked about only
Yeah.
because of where we were levels wise. And I think for a while, those are gonna be kind of, I don't want to say untouchable, but those are definitely going to be highs in both of those crypto markets for right now. And you may not see any type of movement um, toward that high maybe until the end of the year.
And that would be, I like what I think you're 100% right. The thing now, I think you almost put highs in the back of your mind. You put them in the
Yes.
back of your mind for a minute because you're not dealing with highs and you're not, what you want to deal with right now is what is your support? What is the value for this thing? What
Beat
range?
me to it.
Find your low.
Yes.
What range do we have? Now,
Right.
technically, those are your levels. That's
Right.
it. And let me tell you, that's a pretty big range still.
Massive right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about 30, a third of the contract. Half
Right.
50 to 33% to 50%. That's a pretty wide range. But in any case, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what we have to deal with. I would imagine you're probably way closer to the lows than not. And I bet you'll see a lot of buying come in down here. Even if and
Mhm.
um if it has the wherewithal to trade down into the 17 to
Mhm.
1800 range again, I bet you get a lot of big buying.
Yeah. True. Very true.
So
Very true. All
I
right.
bet they screwed somebody so bad. Someone got, I mean, like these are the moves that, like, we talked about this with silver a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago.
somebody got blown out,
Yeah,
and
it's like,
that's what it is. I
yeah,
don't
like big. But in any case,
huge. Yeah. We'll find
Richard,
out later. But yeah.
we will. Do you care if I ask you a personal question?
No, go ahead.
All right, can you put on your like Just give me what's going on tonight. Like I need some Super Bowl picks.
Okay. Um,
I still thinks Denver's got a chance, but yeah, I wanted someone with a little more knowledge.
sure, sure. I actually like Seattle, to be honest with you. Everybody is talking about it's going to be a close game. That line is a little uh, it did it move? It was still at
What
four
is
and a
it?
half. Four and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's see, okay, going back to my I don't want to say bookie days, but when we were playing a lot. Yeah, 4.5, that's kinda tempting you to really plow into Seattle. It'll be interesting to see late money coming in and if they can, move that line. So, yeah, I like Seattle and I like the over because everybody's betting on, it's gonna be a good defensive match, which always leads to a old school AFC shootout.
Well, I love where you're going. I agree with you with Seattle, and I have some more like historical and
Love
emotional
it. I
thought with
love it.
this. I mean, you've
Please.
got to avenge that that not handing it to beast mode, back
Yeah.
what was it, 10 years ago or whatever,
Sure.
and how
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that must sting like crazy. And you have a chance to avenge that game and
Yeah.
that whole decision and like stick it
Yeah.
right back to like New England from, however many years ago.
Sure.
That that also this defense is amazing. That team just looks unreal. JSN
Yeah.
is like, this is like his coming
But
out party.
okay,
And like
don't
that
wanna beat this to death, but,
please.
like, S Sam Darnold is he avenged a lot of pretty much his whole career, this year, and what I mean by that is obviously, just so everybody knows, drafted by the Jets, washed out there, went to Carolina, went to San Francisco, then ended up in Minnesota, and, really put everything together. And then I actually, from a fantasy standpoint, didn't like him because I just felt like what's going to happen, just kind of like what happened to him last year, where he kind of fell out. But um, he's played really well. He's played through that oblique injury, which has been brutal. And um,
Like never
if
ever being wanted. Nobody
right,
wanted
that's
him.
what I'm saying.
They
I
wanted
mean, he
J they
was
wanted to keep JJ McCarthy over this kid after he took him to a
correct.
14-2 or
Yeah,
whatever season.
yeah, yeah. And that's kind of what I was getting to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was. How do you want to even put that? Like, not even like an afterthought, but like, basically like 1 foot out the door from, you know, parking cars.
Yeah. No, but
I don't know. So
yeah.
yeah. No, I love it.
You
Yeah.
know what? I love it. We're rooting for Seattle. Let's
Dick
go
Weezy.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
see Darnold just stick it to there's not gonna be
Because
a
I don't
daycare center
want
in Minnesota
another
watching that.
Patriot way
No,
thing.
that
I
part's like
can't.
old and done. Like just you know what? Make
No, I know that. But
make
you
it
know
happen.
what? You got a new quarterback. So then it's the rebirth of the Patriot way. Come on, John. You're old enough to know that.
Let's get this Super Bowl over with so we can start
Yeah.
this Chicago run. I want this dynasty to start next year. All right, go Seattle. Go they're gonna blow them out. I have a feeling. This game is gonna be a 31-17 Seattle victory. It's always a blowout like that.
Is that
Whenever
an
they
over?
want
That is the over, right?
I have
Isn't it
no idea.
44 and a half, I think? Yeah.
It is? I have no idea. I don't
Yeah, that's awesome.
all right, great.
All right, cool.
No, that would be
Hey, all right,
48,
guys.
and that would be 48.
48? Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Whatever.
that's fine.
Just
It's on over.
you're the best.
Seattle in the over. That's what I said, baby.
On the oval over here. Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, bags. All
All
right,
right.
guys. Thanks again for watching. We're gonna do it, or that should do it for this week.
Yeah.
Once again, if you like what you're seeing, do us a favor, like,
Let's unsee.
subscribe, comment down below. That's always helpful, helps grow the show.
Mhm.
Really appreciate you could find us on all our socials. It's Ridin Noji, Riding the Bull Pod. And that's at Instagram, um, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Obviously, if you're here watching the long form, all the shorts are available. But you can also, if you want to listen, it's on Apple Music and it's on YouTube Music. Also, if you wanted to, you can go to our website, sponsor of the show,
Oh,
lakefrontfutures.com. You could sign up for the insider newsletter free. It doesn't cost you anything. Or if you wanted to, you can actually call us 312-347-3888. You can actually talk to us if you wanted to. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
bye, everybody. Bye, Richard.
Bye.